Sorry, audience, for that technical error, but we are back to this exciting conversation on clean cooking and e-cooking. And Justin was just telling us how significant it is for us to shift towards clean cooking and what benefits it does bring. And she was actually explaining earlier, you know, the comparison between traditional cooking and also clean cooking. But Justin, just to the audience, maybe for the purposes of the audience to understand, how important is this shift towards clean cooking?
This shift is very important to government because it will significantly reduce the impact of deforestation.
Okay.
It will also give us the health benefits. Our statistics show that we lose about 18,000 women and children to chronic diseases.
18,000?
About 18,000 annually. And these are World Health Organization statistics. And this is due to cooking, the smoke that you're inhaling. I'm sure you've even read articles in the newspaper about, you know, people who just died overnight. Why? Because of carbon monoxide poisoning coming from charcoal. You know, using charcoal in a confined space at night. Yeah, so you look at the health benefits, the health, side effects, and also the time lost. And, you know, as a result, it's very important as government, that we shift the economy from, inefficient cooking solutions to cleaner solutions. There is also a big opportunity here that you get to utilize this electricity, which is coming from renewable sources. Our electricity is primarily from hydro energy, bagasse from the Chicago West, solar, and, the rest. And, with using this renewable energy, it's very good for the environment. So let's use it for cooking, let's use it for lighting, let's use it for all these other things. So here the target is, by 2030, we want to have at least all umeme-connected households using electricity for cooking.
2030.
And we are looking at about 1.9 million households. Then government of Uganda also has plans to increase access to electricity for 1.5 million additional households. So with that, we see that 35%, about 35 to 38% of the population qualifies to cook with electricity. And as Tony mentioned, he said our energy policy targets 80%. So from that 80% clean cooking access, 38% will come from cooking with electricity. In terms of, it's also a very big employment opportunity. So together with the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, we're actually working to create green jobs by selling these appliances, for people, rather than selling charcoal. Sell the cooking appliance, Employ women and youth, It's an industry opportunity. We can design our appliances, locally manufacture our appliances, and become the manufacturing hub for East Africa. So there's a very big opportunity. It's ripe, and there are multiple benefits along, different sectors. So we're very eager to promote this opportunity in e-cooking.
Thank you so much, Justin. I love the way I've highlighted that. Now, this is over to Tony. Now, Tony, I want you to discuss this with me at Liberty, yeah? Now, we know that when you're transitioning from one thing to the other, there are always challenges. So transitioning to new technologies for Ugandans often comes with challenges. Not only Ugandans, but I mean every individual. So what obstacles or barriers do you foresee, Tony, in the widespread adoption of e-cooking in Uganda?
Thank you so much. One is the supply bottlenecks.
Supply bottlenecks.
We've seen this with LPG, and currently we are implementing a parallel program to address the supply bottlenecks in the LPG value chain. So we are encouraging through a nationwide campaign the adoption of LPGs. You must have seen those yellow cylinder kits in your communities. That is part of a program where we want to distribute over 1 million pieces to the public to ramp up the demand for LPG. So equally for the e-cooking program, we anticipate some supply bottlenecks, and that is why we are designing innovative financing solutions, just like Justin talked about, that are resident with our energy credit capitalization company. So we are calling upon all interested companies in the energy space to make use of these financial products to push this clean cooking agenda forward. But equally, we're also calling for local manufacturing. Partner with technology leaders outside of Uganda and bring this production in country. We have a number of industrial parks around the country where government has put in place a number of incentives for you to tap into and build this local production capacity to manage some of these supply bottlenecks. But 3 is the issue of awareness. It's actually the biggest. There is a huge misconception out there that food cooked using electricity is not as tasty as that.
That is why I was asking Justin, has she tested food that has been prepared by an EPC? Because I wanted to know, does it taste the same? Is the taste any different? People have questions, because even when I was at the conference, people were asking, but does the food taste the same?
It absolutely does. It absolutely does.
Really?
Our mothers back home, there is a way they used to make that stew, that goat stew, that beef stew.
Very tasty.
Simmered over slow cooked fire. And the pressure cookers we are promoting today have got that function where you can slow cook your meat. I love mlokoni.
Let me ask you about ruombo. Have you tasted ruombo?
Yes, I have.
Will ruombo really taste the same?
It will, absolutely.
With that steam?
Yes, it will. Yes, it will.
Yeah,
Yes, it will.
I have good news.
Yes, it will.
Yeah.
It will. Yeah.
So we want to take on this approach on, demonstrating, having e-cooking demonstrations.
Yeah.
Where we've even coined the word e-matoke, e-posho. So please invite us here so that we can do a cooking demonstration. We will cook the matoke traditional style in an electric pressure cooker, and we'll have you test it. We'll even have you mingle and all the primary dishes, be it matoke, rice, mulokoni, everything, so that you can taste and attest to the public that this is actually probably tastes even better.
Yeah. So what we've also done to demystify this analogy is we've developed a cookbook that has got over 85 of our local primary cuisines from all over the country.
Nice.
So it gives you a step-by-step guide on how, for example, to make the ruombo, on how to cook the matoke, on how to make the mlokoni, in that clean and smart manner, as opposed to going to these traditional kitchens that we've been accustomed to.
Absolutely, and I'm glad that you raised the e-cooking book, because I was about to ask you about capacity building. It's important that we also look at these e-cooking solutions user-friendly. We have also to teach these people how to use these machines. They need to know how do they use these EPCs, these pressure cookers. Are there programs from the ministry, for example, to develop the capacity, especially for people in the local communities, and also youth and women, and even people in schools? Are there educational programs? We need to even go to secondary schools and primary schools. It's good that you say that the most important thing right now is awareness, because and maybe on top of that, Tony, you're going to also share with us some technological advancements that are integrated into these e-cooking solutions, because we want to make them more efficient, but at the same time also user-friendly. How do we do that?
So one, we are running a capacity building campaign for technicians.
Okay.
Because one of the issues to ensure sustainability of this program is to make sure that we have readily available capacity within our local communities to provide after-sales services. So we are training and retraining artisans through vocational training institutes, but also through public awareness campaigns and demos on how to repair and service these appliances. Like I've said, we have a cookbook which gives you a step-by-step guide, and we are also localizing the operational manuals of these appliances into the different local languages in our communities for ease of use. Yeah.
Just maybe please add something on that.
Yes, actually, in addition to what Tony has very, addressed, we are also supporting the design, the local design of the appliance. For instance, to make it as user-friendly as possible, we are designing the appliance based on our local mills. So you'll find there are even some e-cooking. There are some electric pressure cookers which have a matoke function. A matoke button, you just press matoke, and it starts to cook the matoke, and within a set period of time, the matoke is ready. So localizing and contextualizing these cooking appliances. So we're doing the local design, working with our local laboratories in the country, designing them and then taking them to China to do the mass production as step one as we move towards local assembly and eventually local manufacture.
And then let me stick with you, Justin, for a while. Are you involving the local government? Because it's also important that we also engage leaders, from local communities, LC1, LC2. Those are the people who directly communicate. Once they say something, people are going to follow. So I think I want you to talk to us about that. Are you engaging those local leaders so that they can also pass on the message?
Yes, indeed. Together, again, Tony mentioned the parish development model, but we also have a program which we are working with the support of GIZ. We are working with, we are piloting an energy desk office in, I think, about 17 district local governments. That's within West Nile and, Acholi and Lango sub-region, where we have created energy desks to actually help plan and implement energy programs and especially cooking, because the biggest activity there is charcoal production and cooking is really big. So we are working together with the district local governments as change agents. But even besides that, we've seen the opportunity with faith-based organizations. At the Renewable Energy Conference, we had a powerful, panel discussion with several faith-based leaders, who came and spoke about, cooking, renewable energy, and how we can use that avenue as a voice to drive, clean cooking solutions. We're also working with, for instance, traditional leaders, how we can work with the new, for instance, for instance, our queens, to drive the message on clean cooking. Other countries have beaten us to it to even involve their first ladies and having a first lady working group to sell the message about clean cooking. So indeed, we see the opportunity and we really, we are moving forward to ensure that they can drive the message together with us. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes, Tony.
But we're also encouraging the men and using the husbands and fathers in our homes to champion cooking. For many, many years, we've left cooking
for women.
But I want to encourage the men that are watching us tonight that this program is out there for you. It simplifies cooking to just a button. If I want to cook my matoke, all I have to do is prepare the matoke, put it in a pot, and press a button, and the matoke will get ready at the desired temperatures. Rice, the stews, beef, goat, chicken, fish, all at a press of a button. So the husbands, fathers, brothers out there, this program is for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me stick with you, Tony, for a while. Let's talk about partnerships and collaborations. And we want to understand how is the ministry collaborating with industry stakeholders to ensure that they pass on the message, but at the same time also encourage the development and adaptation of these innovative clean cooking solutions.
So thank you so much. So previously, we realized a lot of government programs were failing simply because ministries were protecting their mandates. Now with the NDP3, the approach we adopted is a programmatic approach where we bring together stakeholders that are working towards a common goal to work together. And that is fostering partnerships across board, both within government but also outside government structures. So like at the recently concluded Renewable Energy Conference, you saw we had over 2,000 partners from different walks of life coming together to champion clean energy access agenda in this country. So we are calling on all partners interested in this agenda come together. At the Ministry of Energy, we are leading the implementation of the Sustainable Energy Development Program, but we've got a technical working group that is specific onto renewable energy technologies and clean cooking. So within that technical working group, we bring together different stakeholders from government, our development partners, civil society organizations, and the public to dialogue and see how best we can move forward this agenda.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Now, for Justin, let's talk about business opportunities that come with e-cooking. Yeah, and just maybe if you can give us an overview of how the government is supporting local businesses that are involved in the production and also the distribution of these clean cooking solutions.
I normally like to start with a baseline. Let's look at charcoal. The charcoal sector in Uganda generates an annual revenue of $250 million. $250 million. But the same charcoal sector, you find they have a very organized system. You find within a 1 kilometer radius, there's somebody selling charcoal. So there's a lot to learn from them. And we see, once we switch the community, I mean, switching from what was going into charcoal to cleaner cooking solutions, that is an enormous business opportunity. Yeah. So we see, and here with the target to shift from about 6.4 that are using, about 94% that are using firewood and charcoal, to the targets that we want, 80%. That is a big opportunity. So we see an opportunity for selling the electric, cooking devices, for selling, LPG, with selling other cleaner solutions such as briquettes. We also have ethanol that we are promoting as a clean cooking solution. As you sell all these appliances, just the fuels, but even the cooking devices. We see an employment opportunity for those doing the repair and maintenance, for those doing the after-sales management. So we see, it's a business opportunity for women. These are jobs that women can take on. The youth, for instance, what we see is when it comes to the biogas sector, you're seeing a lot of youth are the ones actually who are involving in the construction, the maintenance. So it's a very good opportunity for those who have just come out of the university. So clean cooking is a very good source of green jobs. So we are not only promoting clean cooking for the energy benefits, but for the employment opportunities that it comes with.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. As we wind up, because I think we have like 8 minutes to wind up this interesting conversation, let's just talk to Tony about the incentives and subsidies that encourage adaptation of e-cooking solutions among low-income households.
Thank you so much. So one is what Justin has talked about. The energy ladder has got quite a number of technologies available. We'll start with the modern biomass technologies. So for households that cannot afford these clean electric appliances, we are encouraging the adoption and use of briquettes, modern cooking stoves, and these are readily available on the market. But also, we are standardizing these stoves, because previously you'd find on the market you have 8 stoves. These different stoves you can't tell that of these 8, which one do I buy, which one do I leave. But we're also promoting ethanol. Ethanol is another technology which both the lower income households, but also the higher income households can make use of. Ethanol gives you the opportunity to, buy in smaller quantities. So you can buy a liter of ethanol, which you will use probably for 2 or 3 days. You can buy liters in bulk, which you would use for months. We are also encouraging the adoption of LPG, and for LPG we've rolled out a mass sensitization and promotional campaign countrywide. Please go to your local council, register your households, and look out for that yellow LPG cylinder. It is meant for you. All you have to do is to pay 100,000, which is meant for the gas that you're taking. And upon payment of that 100,000, you will receive a kit, which includes an LPG cylinder and a 2-burner stove to kickstart your journey to clean cooking. And then for households that can afford, we've got a wide array of EPC sizes, like Justine said, from as small as 2 liters to as big as 60 liters. But we are also providing financing towards access to these appliances, both for those that are selling, but also those that want to use. And lastly, our tax regime has been revised to also accommodate those that would want to assemble locally. So you will enjoy a huge array of benefits, tax benefits associated with you doing this assembly locally.
Absolutely. Give us your last remarks and your future insights on what do you think the future looks like for e-cooking solutions in Uganda?
Well, I see a Uganda that has moved on from the traditional cooking fuels and technologies to modern technologies that we can all enjoy.
How far
Thank
from
you
now?
so much.
How far from now?
As near as 2025, and hopefully by 2030, we have achieved, some significant, progress.
Yeah. And before I close this very conversation, I want to thank my guests. I can't thank you enough. We highly appreciate your Smart 24 TV for discussing these solutions with us, because we know how impactful they can be for Ugandans in terms of health benefits and also environmental benefits, because we want to look at sustainable development. Thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. Now, for those that are watching us, the smoke produced during traditional cooking methods often leads to health problems, especially respiratory problems, particularly among women and children who spend a lot of time near the cooking area. Additionally, the use of traditional stoves contributes to deforestation and environmental degradation. So therefore, the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, together with Modern Energy Cooking Services, have come together to promote e-cooking solutions as a means to address health and environmental concerns associated with traditional cooking methods. Now, this may, of course, include the use of electric stoves, induction cookers, among others. But the major point here is how do we improve the adoption of e-cooking solutions in Uganda? And of course, we know that we are creating awareness through such platforms. But for those that have been a part of this conversation, thank you so much for being a part of Smart 24 TV. We love you. Have a good night and take good care of yourself.
Smart